Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Ben?
Good, good, thank you. First up, obviously you made a big decision to come back. Can you tell us what you were kind of weighing both ways and what ultimately pushed you to come back?
Um, it was just the best decision for me. Um, I mean, gosh, just thinking about a lot of different factors. Um, but most importantly, it was just the best decision for my future. To be able to come back and become a better player for the next level. It felt like it was a no-brainer at the end of the day. So, just the best decision for me, to put it in a nutshell.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Hey Chris, how you doing? You ended last season with 11 wins out of 14, and unfortunately, things got shut down in the postseason because of COVID. Has that given you, and along with coming back to UCLA, has that given you extra fight for this year? Does that give you extra motivation to try to not only claim a Pac-12 championship as you were a three-pointer away from it, but taking UCLA even farther? What is your motivation for this year?
Um, my motivation is the same. Um, Last year was a great year for us. Obviously, we had growing pains in the beginning, but we had some momentum, and we were on the roll at the end of the season. Um, it's the same for me. Every day, every game, you want to get better every day and win every day, and you want to win every single game as soon as you step out there. I mean, if it was up to me, ideally we'd be undefeated every single year and capture every single championship possible. So I mean, last year was a bummer not being able to finish out our season, putting that momentum the rest that we had, and unfortunately losing our last game, the SC, off a buzzer beater. A great shot by Jonah, but, it was just a heartbreaker. But for me, it was just on to the next, After anything happens, even after wins, it's always on to the next. So I wouldn't say that, it's fueling me any more than I'm already fueled. I'm just super excited to even be able to play, to be honest with you. So obviously, we want to come out and capture that Pac-12 title, regular season title, and make a push in the tournament as well.
Tarek, go ahead.
Hi, Chris. Tark from the Daily News. Kind of an off the court question. I don't know if the word's paranoia, but with all this testing and I don't know if fear is the right word either, but just being cautious of the virus. I mean, you want to head down and go to In-N-Out Burger real quick, man. And you're just kind of worried about what you touch, the doorknob, and you get back in your room and maybe kind of relax and eat your burger, and then you got to just kind of talk about at any moment, man. We see it all the time at all kinds of different levels, college and pro. A positive test could come across. Just kind of talk about juggling that slight paranoia and just and trying to pursue better basketball in the gym at the same time.
Um, well, with the virus around, being in a pandemic and all that, you just hygienically, you just gotta, do everything that you can, everything that's possible. We see the NFL struggling at the moment with their positive tests. The NBA, they had zero positive tests, so that was a really good thing to see. But for us, we just try to take it as seriously as possible. You guys see, I got my gator around my neck right now. I wear my mask as much as I can. I've always washed my hands as much as I could, every time I went to the restroom or anything like that. But, just with the virus around, you just got to be, it's a bit more heightened. Um, but I wouldn't say that's really, something that I, really worry about. We got guys like, Shane and everybody that, they take the protocol seriously and they let us know what we have to do. So, as long as we come in here, I'm here to play basketball. And now we've just got some added rules. So um, as far as outside life, I just stay at the crib. In and out is not the move at the moment. So just trying to make sure that I keep myself safe and being able to come in today and every day to practice with my teammates. I have to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can possibly to keep them safe as well. So I don't exactly know how to answer that question, but I'm just really happy to be able to play basketball right now. We just got some added rules with the COVID guidelines and everything.
Rashawn, go ahead.
Hey, Chris. As far as the NBA, what were some things that they really liked about you, and then what were some other things that uh, you want to work on this season?
Well, there's a plethora of things that I've got to work on. We'd sit here all day if I really ran off the list, but they like my body. I've got a lot of length. Um, I got a decent motor. Every good things like that. But things I've got to work on are my dribbling. I mean, pretty much everything. I got to work on my dribbling. My handle has to get better. My shots got to get a lot more consistent. A lot more things, but ultimately, I've just got to become a more consistent player. In order to be successful at the next level, I've got to be able to be a consistent player, and that's at any level. So I just want to be as consistent as possible at this level at the moment, so I can hopefully translate that to the next level.
Sam, go ahead.
So, Chris, you were talking about how you kind of want to leave last season behind, but I know after that USC game, you were kind of talking like you wanted to see him again. Is that something that still kind of burns in you a little bit? And then a quick follow-up. I noticed you got a haircut, which
Yeah.
what went into that going with the short hair this year?
Well, the haircut, I mean, I guess I just wanted to change it up. My hair wasn't looking good, if you ask me. So figured I'd cut it off and start it over. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm happy I made that decision. But as far as USC, uh, that that shot still stings. But I mean, great players hit great shots. I know we're gonna see USC twice this year. If anything, if it goes as planned, we see them twice every year. So of course, I want to beat them both times, just like I want to beat every single team on our schedule. But yeah, after that game, it was just that I wasn't able, to change what happened. I found out the play before, so it just really stung a lot more just because I had to watch from the bench. Emotions were. It was an emotional roller coaster. Cody hit 2 big free throws to put us up by 1. And the very next possession, he had a game winner. But like I said, great players hit great shots, and hopefully the season goes regularly, and we'll see them twice. And obviously, I want to beat them twice.
All right. Well, 2 more here for Chris, and then let him go. Rick, you're up next.
Chris, regarding the hair, you're styling, man. Looking good.
Thank you.
Okay. Last season, your team changed from a team that was a 500 team into a dominating team.
Yeah.
What do you think was the catalyst for that to happen? And second, was there anything specifically in the off season that you wanted to work on your game to bring it in? And how do you sustain that mentality that you had at last year?
Well, the catalyst would just be us buying into Coach Cronin. Our growing pains were because we, were trying to figure out how to play for him, and just trying to figure out the defense that he was putting in as well as the offenses. So, once we were able to buy into that, and we're able to play the way that, he envisioned, that's, when we started to go on our little run, and, having everybody back. So we're pretty much knowing like, what to do. Everybody's on the same page. We've got 2 new guys. We got a freshman and Jalen, and we've got Johnny. So, we're just taking them under our wing, and before our first game, they should know exactly what to do. So, but for me, just I want to come back this year, being the only senior. I want to be the leader of the team. So, you can't really get in the gym and work on leadership but that's something that I'm taking pride in this season. And, I talked to my dad a lot about in the off season as well. So, I just want to be the leader of the team, vocally. I'm not usually the one that's on the court yelling or anything. I just like to let my game talk. But, on the court, when my teammates need me, I want to be there verbally, and physically, whenever they need me, as well as I want to be an extension of the coaches on the court and off the court, whether it be practice or in the game, or even just, in the hotels or whatever it is. So that's something that I really, want to play a big role for me this season. And if I'm not wrong, that was another part of your question.
Hold on, let me get him off mute.
Great answers, by the way. But how do you sustain what you learned? Because you were away from the team for 6 months.
Yeah.
How do you sustain it and take off where you left off?
Just drilling everything. Thankfully, we were able to get in the gym with, coaches now rather than later. So just getting back to original schedule and just drilling the plays, drilling the mentality, drilling everything that got us wins last year. That's just what we're gonna have to do, get back to it.
Okay, final one for Chris here goes to Ben.
Chris, you did a recent interview where you mentioned being a 50-40-90 guy. Where did that idea come from? Obviously, that's a big challenge. How do you go about trying to do it? And which one of those three would you say is the toughest?
That originated my freshman year. Aaron Holiday was going for 50-40-90, and I was in his corner the whole way. I definitely thought he could get it. I don't remember if he got it or not, but if he didn't, I know he was pretty close. But 50-40-90, I'd say just stay in the gym. Like I said last year, for my free throws improved a lot, my three-pointer improved a lot, and it was no luck at all. It was just me being in the gym, getting extra shots, and the biggest thing that helped me was the confidence that my teammates and my coaches instilled in me during the season, and I know they still have that confidence in me. So I'm just going to take that into the next season as well. So just making sure that I work on it a lot and listen to my coaches and teammates. And which one would be the hardest? For me, I'd say the 40% from the three-pointer. I know last year my free throws, I could have had that over 90, but I missed a lot that I should have made. I really should make all of them. They're only free shot you get. But the 50% from the field, that's just my shot selection. Coach Cronin and I are working on that. So I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that. But I mean, that's just a goal for me at the moment. There's a lot of goals that take precedence over that goal for sure, including team goals and just, goals as being a leader as well. But yeah, I'd probably say the 40% from the three would be the toughest for me.